Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utze. On the first stream today, I heavily blundered in an endgame. On the second, which ended just a few minutes ago, I muted myself and forgot to unmute for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. I had trouble speaking, might not be my day, so please bear with me. We are in the Champions League qualifications. It's a Group A, the semifinals. First off, it's maticarrizoc versus CraftyRaf. That's now, and in about 2 hours, it will be Glovia Mars 15 on the fourth and last stream for me today. Tournament implications should be pretty obvious as it's a semi-final. The winner moves on to the final, and the winner of the final then goes to the league stage. The loser of the final would move to the consolidated final. The losers of the semi-finals would go over here to then maybe fight in the lower final and move on to the consolidated final, and the winner of this one also goes to the league stage. All clear so far? I hope so. Let's check these two, which we will witness in a few minutes. There are 4 encounters as of this point in time were these ones here, and looks like a 3-1 in Crafty's favor, although the last 2 were pretty close both this year, and I would expect nothing else for today. I would slightly favor Crafty. I think this might be his year, winning the Belgian championship and also coming in third in the World Championship, which sure is a good result for him. So let's take a look. They haven't started yet. Then let's check if they have started or created a tournament, and they did. Start date was 1 minute ago. Both have registered, and here again can't speak to save my life here. Looks like the games haven't started yet, so it's again BGA's tournament system are not working perfectly as expected. And by the way, yes, even though the ELO ratings suggest otherwise, I'd still favor Crafty, but only slightly, let's say 52% favorite or something like that. Still nothing. Well, then let's take a look again. So Martin Norberts, I can't really remember. Crafty Camaras, I can. This was a pretty close and interesting match. Could have gone the other way, actually. But we'll see. Doesn't really matter anyway. It is what it is. You have to play the match and on the games at hand. And quite frankly, I don't like to blather. I just hope the tournament starts pretty soon. Crafty is online as well, so both are waiting. And let's hope it won't be long we have to wait. Well then, I mute myself. Hey Juan. I don't mute myself actually. Just wish the streaming, the chat tool would work as it should. Let's check again. Yeah, I don't know. So let's refresh, and here we go. Finally, something to hopefully adequately talk about. First 2 points on the board for Marty playing with a yellow, at least here on this stream. And Crafty with a city of his own. Nice monastery square for yellow. Well supported by the road. Not really anything to break this here now, but nonetheless, Crafty quite likely will add this cap here. And maybe then try to play against this square or later on against this one here, with one dagger being out. It's annoying to indirectly extend your opponent's road, but sometimes it is what you have to do. Could have considered this one, but then a limitation like that would be incoming, pressuring both your cities. And therefore, this here is the better move, way better actually. And he gets support from the deck with the extender here. Second right-handed dagger gone. Yellow didn't mind this vulnerability here. They could have protected this square, limiting it to 4 crossroads instead of, for example, being severely limited to the 2 remaining left-handed daggers. But they opted to wait and play more efficiently. It worked out for them. Crafty exerting pressure on Yellow City here. Yellow response in kind. 2 daggers left to go here, but even if Blue gets one of these daggers, then at least there would be one chance to attack the city or try to obstruct it again. Yellow forces the issue. In this case, it works, but any defense would save this square and also take away a possible attacking field by a blue dagger placement. So it has its upside, but it has its downsides too. Let's see if they manage to block the threatened square. They don't. And this gives Blue a second chance, and they sure take it. Like this, of course. Secure this square, while also taking away an option to attack the city. Now Blue only needs to get their hands on a cap there, which is easier said than done, with 2 of the right-handed daggers and 2 starting tiles gone already. That's the second left-hand dagger. Blue just limited the square to the remaining right-handed dagger, so that's definitely critical for Yellow to draw. Blue closes their city, or will close. I think they will. I mean, there's only 1 dagger left, but it's a 50-50 shot at closing this city, which right now is at 6 points. If closed, would be 16. So 2 moves for 10 points, plus maybe a road, or in some cases even a field. just depends on when you hit the dagger, or if you hit the dagger, of course, as well. Yellow doesn't shy away from creating juicy monastery squares, which though could be restricted to at least one kind of monastery by blue, but they don't go for this here. And by the way, could be restricted to a vanilla as well. There are only 2 remaining, 3 are already gone. So any restriction over there would take away 4 outs from yellow. So I don't think doing nothing is the answer here. Yellow could have indirectly protected this square by taking away options for blue. But considering blue didn't do anything about the square, why should yellow? Just focusing on scoring points, or in this case, protecting the road against a complete blue takeover. They threatened this one here. They quite likely won't even connect now, because that would bring these 2 yellow monasteries closer to completion. And with only 1 meeple in yellow's hands, blue definitely doesn't like to give them this road meeple back and a chance for the ideal completion of this monastery. So the ideal one might even be the road monastery. So I don't see blue doing anything about this situation. It's actually quite nice. They take this 6-point field up top, limit this square to the 2 remaining regular monasteries. Nice find by blue, also gives them an option to connect to yellow's field if they so desire. Both scoring quick point cities on the right side. And yeah, I should add the other dagger to the critical pieces as well. And of course, the monastery over here would be extra juicy for yellow. And we'll see if yellow uses a curve to close this gap. I think they should, but not if blue threatens to connect to this city. Well, this move would be a net -1 point move for yellow, adding 2 points to the monastery and losing 3 points on the road, as their 6-point road versus a blue's 3-point road is -3. But it gives them the precious second meeple back and gives them a chance with 1 monastery to get 2 more meeples. Whereas blue has good chances to get meeples back on the left side. This curve protects yellow city, of course, but also restricts blue's option of taking over the city on the right side. The extender and the cows are out of the question there now, and if blue would like to take this one over, they need to draw at least a horse, and they don't go for this move as this city might not be worth the hassle. So they opt to go for this here. They hit their dagger and also, as predicted, meeple the farm to unite through a curve. And now it's not as clear-cut as it was before, whether yellow should add a curve there or not. In this situation, with no meeples in hand, for sure they will. Would give them 3 meeples back after all. And they are down at 14 points, but the problem is this blue farmer would take over the main field, but they just have to do this and attack the field again. And now that they are at minus 15, minus the field, minus 25 or something. Sorry, 24. At minus 24, sure looks like their best way forward would be to take this field over. It's at 12 points, possibly 15. So connecting here would net them, if they are able to add a second farmer, 27 points, which would be enough to take over the lead in this game. And therefore, blue quite likely might be thinking about something like that. Maybe even over here, although there's only one connection possibility left, which is the last monastery. This here might actually then be better. Could go over here, over there, depending what happens on yellow's move. This here is also problematic. There are still chances for yellow to take this over, but even if you'd lose a city here, would only put dent, even though a sizable one, in your lead. Securing the main farm, though, quite likely is blue's winning condition. So with the 1 meeple in hand, only 3 caps left, still big city tiles out there. I think they might not even go for this one up top. In this case, it would only be 5 tiles to get them a meeple back on their next turn. No, 5 tiles is wrong. They could use Doritos as well, so 9 tiles. And therefore, they dump this extender here, and yellow snatches this chance to attack the shared city. Blue might do this just to give them better odds of connecting to the main field and creating a 3-1 supermajority there. Also, this here is not just a dump, it also takes away the good chance of yellow to connect here, or at least complicates things a lot, because it gives blue this option of killing this square immediately. Yellow kills this one, no connection happening there, but blue still has 2 curves left. or had a 3. 1 is in yellow's hands. But this also protects the option to ninja attack the field over here, at least slightly, taking away Doritos, because they could be used to block this connection. Yellow goes for the direct approach. Blue will think a bit about this. They might limit this to the one and only remaining straight. Else they could wait and hope to draw something else, but then it would only limit this to the remaining dagger, which arguably yellow already needs somewhere else. So I don't think that's better in this case. So we'll see this move here by blue, quite likely like this, to not leave a 3-point road there. Yeah, it's right to leave the 3-point road there. To have a place to use the Dorito, which yellow, of course, would use to connect to the city, and blue could use this one for 3 points. So definitely correct. So now yellow is waiting on the remaining straight. And of course, they'd like to get the dagger, going 3 points, adding a city to both fields, and quite likely taking this road here for 7 points. And Crafty sure would like a curve to connect the third farmer into the main field. Takes away this attack against the top field. And this option is inferior, so it doesn't really matter, at least not now. Blue takes 3 points. Marty attacks this city and is successful, creating a ruin over here. Crafty draws the last dagger. This square finally is dead. And blue is at +8. There are still permutations left, which would see a yellow tying the main field for 15 points plus, and blue not getting a curve. And in these permutations, blue would have to find another way to get more points, because the 8 points on the virtual scoreboard just aren't enough to win this game. There would be still an option to counter yellow city attack on the left, but not with this dagger, of course. They might try to play against this square. But it's not easy. Many pieces would directly or indirectly defend it. They might, I think, actually could have used a farmer there. would score at least 3 points from this city, might score more points from this one, or at least would force yellow to do something about the square, maybe. Yeah. But blue didn't. Blue takes this ruin. Yellow gets to connect. Doesn't take the road. Okay. Why not? I mean, it was a 5-pointer up for grabs. So Crafty connects. Yellow quite obviously doesn't think there would be any attack still left, but they missed out on one. There still was this attack left. And it was unblockable even. So with this move, they might have wasted a 33% winning chance. I'm not convinced their play was correct here. Let's quickly check. Might be a case of it doesn't matter because blue would just score enough. But I don't think so, actually. Damn it. I was too quickly mashing buttons, so let's check again. So Crafty connects, and he's up at plus 12. Yellow going over here. This one. Hoping to draw the curve, which would give them 21 points plus this road of 6 points. I mean, it's surely enough if you're down 12. 27 for plus 15, and blue would only get the cow. So huge miss by yellow to not attack the field. Unless I again have missed something, but I don't think in this case I have, because with the cow, so this is yellow's move, and with the cow, blue can't add a farmer here. It just doesn't work, and they can't add a farmer here, and they can't block the square. So yeah, huge miss by yellow. On to the next game. Blue's city is under threat, and they weren't able to directly or indirectly defend. Luckily for them, yellow got their hands on a juicy tile, which they didn't like to add to blue's then ruin. So I press on this mute button. If I speak again and I'm not audible, please let me know in the chat. I mean, I could not use this one and just a slurp into the mic, but I don't like noises like that, so I won't force them onto you as well, of course. A nice indirect protection by blue, giving only 6 chances to yellow to completely kill the square, which would be the daggers, right-handed kind. and the 3 horses, which would also give yellow 2 points. And on the other hand, we'd have Doritos, roses, and I spoke BS because I totally missed that. Of course, the Doritos would kill as well. So it was more or less an equal distribution, even though slightly favoring yellow due to 2 roses already being gone. But blue had no better way than to protect their city than this crossroad, actually. At least not in their hands. Of course, a starting tile would have been really lovely. So yeah, it's nicely forcing a mini battle, which in many cases blue will win, and at least delaying the progression of yellow's road here. Especially with 2 roses being gone and the third being in blue's hands. Will they take the 3 points at the bottom or maybe add it to their city? I would expect them not to go for the city with simple caps. And they use the 3 points here, dump the cap to the left side. With the roses gone, at least 3 of the caps you could use there aren't available anymore, so it's the safest place they could have picked from these 3 options. And now I would expect blue to continue with this city. So quite likely going for this pattern. But they don't. They'd rather go for this one. Then looks like a ruin play with 4 road Doritos gone. The ideal continuation of the city isn't really available. There's only the one left, and that's gone now. So everything else more or less would help yellow. Closing the road immediately doesn't really work for blue. Road extension as well. Well, starting tiles could be considered here. Yeah, but given this road Dorito situation, not sure if this really was better than trying to go for the large city with the bull there. By the way, I try to use bull for the quadruple city as quadruple city just is a mouthful and bull fits nicely with cow. At least it's an animal too, and usually bulls are bulkier, hunkier than cows are. So maybe this works, and if it doesn't catch on, well, I could quit anytime. Blue's monastery here is a volatile choice, creating this sinister hamster, hoping to draw a road monastery themselves, of course. Here we go, there is the road monastery, and now this here paid for itself more or less, only needing a curve or crossroad or dagger for that matter to liberate both. Yellow self-blocks this, more or less giving blue the upper hand in this mini battle. also place against their monasteries. Now there's only one dagger left for this square, and it will be crucial, as well as the crossroads here. With 3 daggers left. Blue didn't bother using the starting tile here to limit them to the 2 remaining crossroads. They'd rather hoped for yellow not drawing anything to attack this square and protected their city and pre-completed it. Still one starting tile left to finish it. And that's another dagger variety. Nice curve by blue, taking away this road end, taking away the chance for yellow to score points there. But in this case, when you would like to kill the square, I'm not sure I would have taken this road away. You need crossroads elsewhere, so why limit this one? You'd still have horses left, and if yellow scores this, at least you could kill these 3 monasteries. And when one meeple of yourself is killed and more are under threat, maybe killing opponent's meeples with the 1-to-2 ratio is okay, but maybe getting this meeple back was of the essence, and considering they didn't have any meeples in hand, it sure was, and therefore blue tried to protect this square. Yeah, it looks like hell for Crafty. Might need to play against Yellow City, but he just can't justify using his last meeple and then maybe being stuck there for a long time. And so he sighs with relief, getting the final starting tile and the precious and very, very crucial second meeple back in hand. Yellow adds an insurance farmer up top, which could connect to the main field if needed. Blue restricts this one. It's sure nice. Yellow might just take their road back. And this was the last crossroad, so yellow drew both of them. Therefore, this square is dead, this square is dead. And all these 4 blue meeples are dead as well. And this one here on the city still needs the dagger plus another cap. And so even if the dagger hits, yellow would either obstruct or attack the city again. So it looks rather unlikely that blue would still be able to outscore yellow to the tune of at least 11 points, as they are 10 points down on the scoreboard and are the starting player. Yeah, they don't really have any big features to go for except for this city, and maybe somehow this main field. It's at 15 points. Would surely be a nice addition to Blue's scoreboard. So So Crafty, what do you do here? Do you go for high volatility like this, hoping your opponent gets a straight or a horse for that matter? So you might be able to use this route into the main field, flipping for the dagger, which yellow's farmer would also need to connect to the main field. Or is this just too volatile? Is it just time to kill this cap and yellow's root in the main field? Hoping to later connect here or connect from the top left? Yeah, all these questions are quite likely ping-ponging in Crafty's head right now. And we see he goes for it. Yeah, I like it. Gets killed immediately. Like this. But I think it was worth a try. 3 out of 11 tiles, so chances weren't bad. Although it's unlikely that yellow would have allowed blue to attack the field with 3 meeples in hand. I'm pretty sure they would have added an insurance farmer there. Even if they would have gotten a straight. I mean, if they would have gone for this move, then of course they would have added a farmer there. And with the prospect of the same move by blue, it might have been, or it would have been necessary actually for yellow to protect this square, which is usually the other way around. But alas, for blue, it didn't work out in their favor. And so we'll see a decider in this match between Marty and Raf, which sure is nice. Yellow killed all options of an attack up top. Before this was there at least still was, I think, this dagger option available. But closing this city, even if you then tie the field, would be a shame, but maybe blue would have gotten the chance to add a second farmer. Yeah, this could have been a winning route, but quite likely would have been immediately blocked by yellow in one of these 2 squares. Yellow with a 6-point field on the right and a 6-point lead on the virtual scoreboard, which will grow with these last moves here. Now it's 9 points and nothing's critical anymore. There's no way to still attack over here. Earlier there would have been chances. Earlier meaning before Crafty got the dagger, which he used, I think, on the right side. Yep. So for example, there could have been something like that here to manufacture an attack with the dagger. Yeah, he takes away the 5-point road. As it turns out, doesn't matter, there's another one on the right side, which he quite likely will take now. Could also score 1 point there, +3, doesn't matter. Losing by 7 or 8 in the end. Again, if I haven't missed some crucial detail. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. As spectacular as these monasteries were, they weren't completed. And if only Crafty would have gotten one of the 2 crossroads, which were still in the deck after Yellow's limitation, I'm pretty sure the result would have been a different one. 2 meeples would have just scored at least 3 points if he would have gotten them back early enough. That is, of course, 3 points each, plus the 2 points for the road. 8 points, which is more than the spread in the end. So 2 close games. And this is the decider, folks. Who of these 2 will reach the finals in Q1, Group A, and then wait for either Glovia or Mars to follow them? And who will have to go into the lower half of this tournament? Into the lowest round, what is it? Semifinals. It should be. The 2 participants from the upper semifinals and 2 participants from the lower round 2 or 3. Maybe I should know this by now, but we'll check this later. Another thing I forgot on earlier streams today, so please remind me. Nice early fumble by Yellow, not caring about these caps for now, just leaving them there to be snatched up by the supporting cast later on. Meanwhile, Blue going for the roads here, wisely creating a loop road as not to necessitate another road end, which they'd like to use on the right side, and in fact do, also capping this field there, which gives them another option of continuing their city. Sure, a diamond shape would have been nice, but in this case you might just opt to attack Yellow City. There's only 1 splitter left, so why not? The more volatile approach, of course, would be to create your own and then try to harass Blue's Yellow City. At -16, more volatility might be okay, and therefore Blue goes for this orientation. And by the way, -16, although Yellow's field is only worth 6 now, so that's not the explanation. It's more that Blue scored these cities here. Or did they? Yeah, they did. Yellow did score these cities. Blue only scored a 6 and a 4-point road. These two cities were scored by yellow. But as luck would have it, talking about the splitter, yellow got it and attacks a blue city, preventing them from closing it on their own. It's -9. There's still a lot of miles to go, so nuclear options like this should not be considered, but it would surely be fun. Yeah, well, create another city somewhere, likely. There are still extenders out there, also twin caps, so why not? Can't attack this. Shouldn't play here. This is not profitable enough. This would be insane, so, well, maybe this one. Don't think it's worth it to attack yellow's field now. You could go for this, actually. But considering blue would like to get pieces like Doritos or their bottom city, I think in the end they will just create another one on the left side. But we'll see. Surely takes his sweet time here, and why not? It's a move to think about all the options, and he goes for the one that, at least to me, makes the most sense. Yeah, this here ups the pressure on blue. Do you risk it and go for the most efficient continuation over here, which is also not ideal, as any road piece would give yellow chances to either attack or block your city? Or do you go over here somewhere to pressure this square? They don't. They opt for this move, which I totally understand. And now they are in a pickle here. This monastery sure looks nice, but comes at the totally wrong time. The only good news is yellow didn't have any city piece in hand to kill this square. Again, blue can't do anything about yellow city up top. Continuing your city is annoying. I mean, I might even consider this one. Yeah. Could also use this. Yeah, this works. Okay, this maybe even works better, but this is killed now. This way, there's no chance for yellow to complete this, and actually it should be a no-brainer. And it speaks volumes that I didn't talk about it. And it gives 2 options to attack this. And why not? If you get a chance, get this one back, get this one liberated. Maybe yellow connects here, which would score them 3 points for the city plus 3 for their farmer. Then you might have enough meeples to take over this city. Blue kills the square, still having chances to build their side of the ruin to win this mini battle, which is tied at 1 point apiece right now. Do I like this? It threatens this square, limiting it to the 2 remaining starting tiles. It adds caps on yellow's field. So even if blue were to get a starting tile, we'll only score them 2 points. 4 for the city, 1 for the monastery, but -3 due to yellow's farmer being present on the field already. So yeah, I think I like it. Yellow takes away the option to re-attack this city, although there were only, or would have been only 2 connection pieces available. 1 is in blue's hand now, should connect on the right side. This case might even do that in a way to allow more attacking options, as taking over the city surely would boost their case. This monastery takes away some continuations from blue's ruin side. So a cow, for example, doesn't fit anymore, but the question is, do you turn the city, the field to the top or to the right? And I think in this case, I might go for the right option, hoping to draw this one before my opponent does. But some city cap that is not this specific per se. Oh, but blue doesn't go for it. And there's a reason for that. At least I think there's a reason. And the reason could be that Dorito would allow for the same attack, but there would then only be 1 piece necessary to close the city on the other side. This might be, or they just don't go for this at all and try something completely different. Yeah, it looks wonky, but actually it works. The attack here by blue, of course, could come, but then there would only be the quadruple city, the bull, to unite, and then there would be options for yellow to re-attack. In this case, though, it gives blue the chance to connect with the Dorito, knowing full well yellow might re-attack, but also might just run into something with which they could neither attack nor defend. For example, this extender or a regular monastery or the bull. Well, this would fit like this. So, yep, a volatility, and why not? Crafty is still down 6 points after getting his hands on a starting tile. And that's the other route to the win here. Tying yellow's 12-point field. He goes for it from the top. Many road pieces would fit there. Scores 3 points. Could have also opted to close this city to get another meeple back. Considering yellow is more likely to do that and secure a meeple majority here. And there are still 2 crafts though, and 1 road monastery, so 3 pieces to liberate Blue's monk at the bottom. So maybe this one here could be considered, restricting yellow's monastery square, in some cases being able to liberate your monastery while yellow's monk would still be stuck there. Could even farm, but just connecting might be the way to go. Else you might run into a situation like this. And if yellow is a tad lucky and hits this dagger, then you could say good night to this farmer. But Crafty opts to play against this city. Well, will he attack it now? There's only 1 Dorito left. And I think he might just add this one there and hope to draw the Dorito and possibly the bull himself. He scores 4 points. Yeah, but yellow still doesn't get a cap. So many out there. Almost half the deck. Ooh, well, it takes away 2 of 6 caps to close the city immediately. There's still 4 left. Still nothing over here. Marty limits this to 2 pieces, and blue immediately gets one of them. And he has to connect. This here is the more pressing need in comparison to the monastery. Monastery Liberation gets the second meeple back, but scores 0 points, whereas this farmer would score 12. Yellow finally closes their city up top. Don't think it's necessary to farm there. Could extend to 6 points in the end, but it's not worth it right now. And now blue's ahead by 7 points, but yellow still has 1 more meeple in hand, and there are still chances to attack the field again. For example, with the road monastery, a ninja could work. And of course, with the road monastery, something like this here is always possible. But there's still one crossroad out there. So this will only be employed later in the game. And especially not if the monastery gets drawn before that. So Crafty takes away some ninja options, adds a defense against this ninja option. Seven points still. There's one big problem for yellow in the deck, which is the quadruple city tile. If this square were killed, then there would be no option to place it. And they would lose a move. Else they might have to place it over here, gifting 2 points to blue. Both could end catastrophic for yellow. For now, with this road monastery, well, you sure like to place it here, but you can't justify it. Taking this 6-pointer might just be the move there, and monastery for Crafty is annoying as well. There are still a lot of caps out there, plus a quick point scoring crossroad. So you have to keep the meeple in hand. Crafty, wow, takes a 6-point field, still has the 1 meeple in hand, and now has a 10-point lead. Yellow takes a 6-point field. There's still 1 cap to close this, which would give them the lead. And it will come down to the wire. Crafty takes 3 points. Also leaving this 3-pointer up for grabs. Yellow gets the dagger, will score these 4 plus 3 points to their field. And now it looks like both will score 3-point fields in the end. Is there anything else Crafty could do? I don't see it. I don't see it. He has to take this field, else yellow would unite these 2 fields. So yellow will take this field up top and win with 1 point. And it all comes down to drawing this dagger. Whoa, what a close game. They could score the field on the left side as well, of course. Doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of not blundering like this, hoping to score a 6-point field, which doesn't work. There's a blue farmer here, so it looks like this could be the only way to still lose this game. Yeah, and not meepling anything, of course, but this won't happen. And we go. Marty ekes out a 1-point win. Whoa. Really close. As close as it could get, actually, if you're the starting player. He was sure he won. And the other one was thinking it was a draw. Okay. Might need to count again. Let's see what else they'll be writing. Hi, Alexi. Okay. So Marty didn't score his 1-point stub here and thought it was a draw. Yeah. Very nice one. So the one thing I'd like to check out is this here. What actually was the chance of yellow getting this one and winning the game? And I don't think there was another chance, so I don't need to check. It's 1 in 3 because they needed this dagger right away, else they would have lost. So after, let's quickly check which was the move beforehand by Crafty, I think. Yep, the crossroad. So after this one, Crafty had a 66% chance of winning. But yellow got their saving tile. Close one. So let's take a quick look. Then Marty goes to the final, waiting for Glovia or Mars, which will play in roughly 50 minutes. Again, on this channel in another stream though, because I'll take a break in between. And CraftyRaf will play in the lower semifinals, except for Group X. The folks from the upper half play in the upper half of the lower round as well. In Group X, it's at least in some cases reversed. I'm still waiting for Sergey to answer my question regarding this. So Crafty should play, at least to my knowledge, in the upper semi-final of the lower bracket versus the winner of Norbert's versus Kamares. Yeah, someone isn't happy. Crafty is happy though he dodged Glovia and Mars, but if he wins this one, he would move to the lower final and then might find himself playing against the loser of Glovia versus Mars again. And if not, he might meet one of them in the consolidated final. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly. You already played Kamaras. And here we are. There's Sergey. What isn't? Please explain, Sergey. Where would the loser of Marty Crafty be placed in the lower bracket? In the upper or in the lower match? Yeah, well, if you go to the bottom, then my question would be, where is this one? You Boos here in Group F did go to the upper Why would be that the case? I mean, it's the same for you here. So, Sergey, you can't be. I mean, it's another way in groups A to E than in groups, what is it, F to I? You can't be seriously. I mean, these are the same brackets, and here a loser goes to the upper semifinal, but in the other tournaments, a loser goes to the lower semifinal. Sorry, that's shoddy. I mean, use one algorithm for all these tournaments if they are the same. It was a bug. Okay. Well, placeholders, my friend, placeholders, and all these questions wouldn't be even asked. So if Sergey says Crafty goes to the lower semifinal, then I hope that will be the case. And maybe it would be time to fix the bugs, because the games there aren't set yet and aren't played yet. So still time, I think. So then Crafty would meet the winner of Carcassonne versus, is it Foyce? Is it Thiers? Eric, at least. And might then meet the loser of Glovia Mars again there, or maybe in the consolidated final, but in this case, it would be the winner of Glovia Mars. Okay, everything's clear for now, I think. Was there anything else I wanted to check? I don't think so. Any questions from you? Hi, Vika. No questions, it seems. So let me take a quick look at this one again. Yeah, I think still correct what I said. After this crossroad, Crafty had a 66% chance of winning this one. I think. Yeah, it must be, because this was the only way for yellow to score quick points. Yeah, tough luck. Tough luck. But there's still a chance to win a Champions League ticket. It only needs 3 matches. Yeah. So 3 instead of 1, which is annoying if you've just lost by 1 point. But it is what it is. Anything else? I don't think so. So going for this field here was a pretty slick move for yellow and might just have been their only chance to eke out the win here. Yeah, you're welcome, Crafty. I should say Raf. You're welcome anyway. Okay, folks, then no questions. I'm really not keen on checking back on specific situations here because, quite frankly, I don't remember and I need a break, else I won't survive this stream in roughly 40 minutes. So thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you for Glovia Mars later, else see you on another day. Bye-bye.